Good evening, and welcome to the Quiet Library. Tonight, we're going somewhere warm, somewhere ancient, somewhere where narrow streets twist between walls the color of sunset, where lanterns glow behind carved wooden doors, and where the scent of orange blossom drifts through courtyards hidden from the street. Tonight, we're going to Marrakech. But we're not going to the Marrakech of crowded markets and busy afternoons. We are arriving at the end of the day, when the heat begins to leave the stone, when the shopkeepers slowly close their doors, when the voices of the city become quieter, and when Marrakech begins to belong to the night. So, settle in, let the day disappear for a little while. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to finish. For the next few minutes, you are simply traveling, and our journey begins just before the sunset. Imagine that you have arrived in Marrakech late afternoon. The sun is still bright, but it has begun its slow descent toward the horizon. The light has changed. It is no longer the sharp white light of the midday. Everything has softened into warm gold. You stand near the old walls of the Medina. They are enormous and warm beneath the fading sun, built from earth and lime and centuries of repair. Their colors seem difficult to name, sometimes pink, red, orange. Perhaps this is why Marrakech has long been called the Red City. Beyond those walls lies a maze. Thousands of streets, alleys, courtyards, markets, mosques, gardens, homes, workshops, and hidden rooms that have existed for generations. You step through one of the old gates, and immediately the modern world seems a little further away. The streets narrow, the buildings rise on either side of you. Some passages are wide enough for carts and even maybe bikes. Others become so narrow that you could almost touch both walls if you stretch your arms out. There are no straight lines here. The street turns, then turns again, then divides into two smaller passages. You choose one without knowing where it leads, and that is perfectly all right. Tonight, you do not need certainty, you don't need a map. The Medina of Marrakech has existed for nearly 8,000 years. The city was founded in the 11th century by the Almoravids, a Berber dynasty whose empire stretched across much of North Africa and into Spain. Over the centuries, Marrakech became a place of trade. Caravans crossed the desert carrying salt, spices, leather, gold, textile, and stones. Merchants arrived from distant cities, travelers came from across the Sahara, scholars passed through, kings built palaces, craftsmen filled the souks, and generation after generation walk these same narrow streets. You can feel that age here, not because the city feels frozen in the past. It doesn't. Marrakech is alive, but the past has never completely disappeared. It remains beneath everything, in the worn stones, in the wooden doors, in the courtyards hidden behind blank walls, in the rhythm of the streets. You continue walking. A man passes carrying a tray of small glasses filled with mint tea. Somewhere nearby, metal taps against metal as a craftsman finishes his work for the evening. You pass a shop filled with brass lanterns. Hundreds of them hang from the ceiling. Tiny holes have been cut into the metal. When the lamps are lit, they scatter patterns of light across the walls. Stars, circles, flowers, shapes that move whenever the lantern sways. Next door are carpets, deep reds, indigo blues, cream and black geometric patterns woven by hand. Farther along, pyramids of spices rise from wooden bowls. Cinnamon, cumin, turmeric, saffron, dried rose petals. The air changes every few steps. Leather, smoke, mint, cedar, orange blossom, warm bread, and something sweet that you cannot quite identify. The sun is lower now. You continue toward the heart of the old city. Eventually, the narrow streets open suddenly into an enormous square. Jama el-Fnam. For centuries, this has been one of the great gathering places of Marrakech. By day, it is busy, but in the evening, it transforms. Food stalls begin to appear. Small clouds of smoke rise into the cooling air. Lanterns flicker on. Tables are unfolded. Pots begin to simmer. Voices overlap. People cross the square in every direction. And above all of it stands the minaret of the Kotatubeh Mosque. Tall, simple, ancient. The last sunlight touches its stone, then slowly the sun disappears. For a moment, Marrakech becomes blue, that brief color that exists between day and night. The rooftops darken, the sky deepens, and the first stars become visible. You find a quiet terrace above the square. A small table waits beside the railing. Someone brings you mint tea. The glass is hot between your hands. Fresh mint leaves float inside of it. The tea is sweet, very sweet. You take a sip. Below you, the square continues moving. But from up here, it feels almost distant, almost like watching a scene from another century. Smoke rises toward the rooftops. Lanterns glow. People become small silhouettes moving beneath them. And for a while, You simply sit there. There is no reason to hurry. But eventually you leave the terrace. The night has fully arrived now, and you walk back into the Medina. But now the streets are changing. Many of the shops are closing. Wooden shutters fold over displays. Carpets disappear from doorways. Metal lanterns are carried inside, and the crowds begin to thin. The city seems to exhale, and you turn into a smaller alley. Then another. Your footsteps become more noticeable. The walls rise quietly around you. Every so often, you pass a doorway, glowing with warm light. Behind one door, you hear conversation. Behind another, the sound of dishes being washed. Somewhere above you, someone closes a window. A cat appears at the end of the alley. It watches you for a moment, then slips silently on the quiet paws around the corner. You follow the narrow street until you reach an old wooden door. From the outside, there is almost nothing remarkable about it. No enormous sign, no grand entrance, just heavy wood set into a reddish wall. You knock. The door opens, and behind it is an entirely different world. You have entered a riad. Traditional Moroccan houses were often built inward rather than outward. From the street, they could appear plain, but inside rooms surrounded a private courtyard. The outside world was kept beyond the walls, and the center of the home became its own small universe. This riad has a fountain in the middle. Water falls quietly into a shallow tiled basin. Orange trees grow in large pots. Their leaves move slightly in the evening breeze. The floor is covered in intricate tile work. Blue, green, white, each tiny piece placed by hand to form patterns that seem to continue forever. Above you, the courtyard is open to the sky, a square of darkness filled with stars. Someone has lit candles along the walls. The noise of the Medina has almost completely disappeared. You sit beside the fountain. For the first time since arriving in Marrakech, there is almost complete silence. Only water, a faint breeze, and somewhere beyond the walls, the distant sound of the city. A tray is placed beside you, more minty, a few dates, almond pastries dusted lightly in sugar. You take one. It breaks softly between your fingers. Sweet almond, honey, a little orange blossom, and you lean back in your chair and look upward. It is strange how different a city can become at night. During the day in Marrakech, asks for your attention constantly. All the colors and voices, the movement, the markets, traffic, heat. But late at night, another city appears beneath it, an older one, a quieter one. Perhaps this is closer to what travelers centuries ago might have known. Before electric lights, before cars, before airplanes could carry someone from Paris to London to Morocco in few hours. Imagine arriving here hundreds of years ago. You might have traveled for weeks, perhaps even months, across mountains and deserts, along roads where distance was measured not in miles but in days. Marrakech would have appeared like an oasis, walls rising from a dry landscape, gardens hidden behind them, markets filled with goods from places you had only heard about, and at night there would have been almost no artificial light. Maybe oil lamps, some candles, fire, and stars. So many stars. After a while, you climb the narrow stairs to the roof of the riad. The air is cooler here. The entire medina stretches around you. Flat rooftops, small terraces, palm trees rising unexpectedly between buildings. Farther away, the Kotubia minaret stands against the night sky, and beyond the city, almost invisible in the darkness, are the Atlas Mountains. During the day, their peaks can appear above Marrakech like another world. In winter, some are covered in snow. It is strange to imagine snow from this warm rooftop. But Morocco is a country of contrasts. Desert and mountain, Atlantic coast and ancient city, snow and palm trees, silence and noise. And tonight, from this rooftop, everything seems very still. You lie back on a cushioned bench. Above you is the sky. There are fewer lights here than in the great cities of Europe or America, and the stars appear brighter, one then another, then dozens. The longer you look at the sky, the more stars you notice. Perhaps people have always done this. Travelers, merchants, soldiers, and kings, children sleeping on the rooftops during hot summers, all looking at essentially the same sky. A light breeze moves across the terrace. Somewhere far away, you hear a dog barking, and then silence again. The city is finally asleep. The stalls in Jama and Fna will eventually disappear. The last kitchens will close. The lanterns will go dark one by one. The alleys that seemed impossibly busy only hours ago will become empty. And for a few quiet hours, the Medina will rest until morning. Before sunrise, the first bakers will begin working again. Dough will be prepared. Ovens will heat, and doors will open. The cats will appear in the streets again. The sky will slowly become pale. and Marrakech will begin again. But that is still hours away. For now, there is only the night, and you remain on the rooftop. The stone beneath you still holds a little warmth from the day. The air smells faintly of dust and flowers, and your eyes become heavier. There is nothing left to explore tonight. Nothing you have missed. The city will still be here tomorrow. The gardens, the palaces, the souks, the hidden courtyards, the mountains beyond the walls. It all can wait. And perhaps that is one of the quiet gifts of traveling. For a little while, your ordinary life becomes distant. The things that seemed urgent this morning are suddenly thousands of miles away. You are simply somewhere else, under another sky, listening to another city fall asleep. And sometimes that is enough. So stay here for a little while longer on this quiet rooftop in Marrakech. Let the last sounds of the Medina disappear. Let the warm night settle around you. The lantern beside you flickers. The fountain continues somewhere below its endless song. The orange trees are still and fragrant, and beyond the rooftops, the Atlas Mountains sleep beneath the stars. There is nowhere else you need to go tonight. The journey is finished. The city is quiet, and now you can rest too. Good night from Marrakech, and good night from the Quiet Library.